I'm Matt Bouchard with REIT.com here in New York City for REITWeek 2014. Joining me today is Philip Charls, the Chief Executive of the European Public Real Estate Association. Philip, thanks so much for joining us.
Great pleasure.
About a year ago, the arrival of Spanish REITs was a big story in Europe. How have things progressed in the Spanish market since then?
Actually very well. I mean, EPRA is working very hard with its members to introduce a proper up-to-date REIT regime. We used the savings and loans situation in the 90s in the US as a good example how REITs can help out. And of course we were very proud that one of the first movers was Soros and Paulson to a better place you can't imagine to start it off, and has been followed by other introductions, and we expect there's more to come in the near future.
And Europe seems to be receiving some renewed interest from global real estate investors this year. What do you think are the factors that are driving that?
I think we can really say there's a REIT rate renaissance going on in Europe. If you look back, say about 2 years from where we are now, Europe's market share, EPRA Europe in the global index, was about 12%, which was really the lowest in the whole crisis. We stand now at around 16.5%, so that is a phenomenal improvement. If we look at the last 9 months, we've seen introduction of REITs across the board. We raised about 6.5 billion in the last 9 months, and we expect another 9.5 billion to come. And we talk euros here, so in US it's about 20 billion. Maybe not big for the US, but for Europe it's an amount that we've never seen before. The good news on top of all this is that it's not only coming like in the start from one particular country, i.e. the UK, but we now see it across the board. We see it in Ireland, of course, we see it in Spain, in Italy, in Norway, in Sweden, and in Germany. So that is a fantastic situation. What are the driving forces behind it? I think number one, when the chairman of the ECB, Mr. Draghi, made his infamous speech in July 2012 that he would do whatever it takes to save the euro, we have seen stability in the market. That's a very important factor. Number two, we see modest economic growth. The UK leading, say, around the same level as the US, continental Europe slightly lower. And very important, there's still pockets of value in the market. There's still continental Europe's opportunity, companies are listed below NAV. And finally, and that is something that will stay, is that there is a lot of demand from institutional investors who want to have real assets, and listed REITs obviously being one of them. And also we see continuing movement in Europe from defined benefits to defined contribution. Old story in the US, new for us, and as we all know, has been a famous and a driving factor for the REIT industry, not only in the US but also in Canada and in Australia. So that's a very strong point for our future.
And lastly, what is EPRA's main policy initiative or issue that you're dealing with right now?
We keep on working, Matt, on investor outreach, number one, in continental Europe, in the UK, in Asia, and obviously together with NAREIT in the US. And it's very important that we do this. And we do this not only in the US together with NAREIT, but also in Europe. And it's mainly not so much about what is better to invest in Europe or in the US. It's really about spreading the gospel of REITs and what it does to portfolios. Linked to that, our second focus area is research. We spent a lot of time in explaining the advantages of blended portfolios, how that enhances the results. And finally, we keep on pushing the lagging markets like Italy and Germany. There's still a lot of opportunity, particularly in Germany, and we're very proud and happy that, to give you one example, Germany has, like the US, you have the federal government and you have states, and one of the biggest states is Bavaria. They have local insurance state companies. It's about, Bayerische Versicherungskammer is about 40 billion assets under management, and they have just decided for the first time to invest it in listed real estate. So these are very important moves, and we have great confidence that by pushing forward we will get the results.
Philip, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
For more on this and other REIT news and analysis, be sure to visit REIT.com.